Hello, true believers, and welcome to another episode of Marvel Draw. I am your host, Brian Crosby, and today we're going to be diving into yet another character from the Spider-Verse, Ghost Spider, Gwen Stacy, formerly known as Spider-Gwen, now Ghost Spider. So, I'm going to teach you how to draw Ghost Spider's head, and just to really quickly go through the tools of the trade. As always, we're going to be using a blue colored pencil for my underdrawing, and then I have a set of darker pencils. I have a B and a 6B to do the details and the darker lines. But again, feel free to use whatever it is that you have around the house, markers, colored pencils, whatever it is that you have. The point is to have fun and keep learning. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this drawing. So for those of you who have watched us do humanoid characters in the past, you know I always like to start off with a circle. Again, very loose. And we're gonna have her looking kind of off to the right here. So I'm gonna draw a center line that goes down and kind of creates the curvature of her head, just like that. Okay, now for her jawline, and I'm not going to make her as angular as, say, I would a Captain America, and certainly not as big as a Hulk. So it's going to be closer to what we did with Peter Parker and Miles Morales. She's a little thinner. Okay, just like that. And we're going to continue that center line all the way down to the base of her chin. Okay, so you can see how we create that jawline. This is kind of a cheekbone over here. The construction lines are always helpful, and then you have plenty of time to get into the details later on. Okay, now we're gonna do a portion of her neck. So I'm gonna go off the base of the back of her head here and swoop down. And then another line just on to the left or slash middle of her chin, okay? Just like that. I'm going to draw an eye line that cuts across the center, just like that. And you know I like to make just a dot, basically to represent where her eyes would go. You wouldn't see that in the final drawing, but that just helps me place those big eye lenses appropriately. And she has nice big eye lenses, so we're going to go ahead and sketch those in. It's kind of like Spider-Man and Peter Parker, almost the same. Again, these have been drawn so many different ways over the years with Spider-Man, and even Gwen here, she gets similar treatment. But I like to do them nice and big. I think they're fun, more expressive that way. So I did one. It's kind of an iron shape, and then another one on the other side, just like that. And now I'm going to go around the outside of that and do the lenses. So these are going to be pink when we do the color. And I don't come up to as big of a point as I do with, say, Peter Parker or Miles Morales, but I do give it a nice heavy outline there. And in many ways, many times she has been drawn with having her eye lenses be kind of a airbrush, you know, or kind of a spray paint around the outside. And so we'll be doing that in color. But these outer lenses will help us get that pink outline. Okay. Now I'm going to really define that chin and come in here, kind of committing to these lines. Okay. And she's such a great character. She's got a great costume. I've seen tons of cosplayers at Comic Cons and things like that, where we see people dressing up as Gwen Stacy. And one of her signature features is this hood that she wears over the top. So we're of course going to draw that. So that hood cuts across. See, it helps to have the whole head as construction lines because now we know where to put the hood. So it kind of comes up to a point and cuts across, just like that. And then we're going to have it flare out on the side so we can see plenty of the hood. Because what's underneath the hood is what's really cool. It's kind of a pink color with teal webbing. So again, gives her a very unique look. This is going to be the inside of Ghost Spider's hood, just like that. And this is going to cut across and down and come to a little point right there. Okay, now we're going to draw the back of her hood. So this comes up and around, just like that, framing the outside of her hood, which is white on the outside. And then this will come down around the base of her head, and then has a little bit of a wrinkle, kind of an overlap happening back there. And then that comes back down. And this part will be visible, so we commit to those lines. So we're not drawing webbing on her face the way we do for Peter or Miles, but the webbing is going to be inside the hood. So you want to imagine that those web lines are kind of coming to the back of her head. We're going to draw all these web lines. They're all radiating from behind the hood. Just like that. Now the rules still are the same when doing the rest of the webbing. You want to have the curvature going towards her head, the same way you would do with Peter or Miles. Now again, when we color these, we'll do these in teal, so you're not going to really get the full effect of them right now, but when we do it in color, you'll really see how they pop. Just kind of trace that all the way around, just like that. Okay, so with that, we can set aside our blue colored pencil, and now I'm going to take out my B, and we're going to go over the lines that we just drew. Okay, so we're going to really commit to all of these lines that we already made. And the point is to just keep practicing, do the best you can. Like anything, it requires practice to get really good at this. So draw, draw, draw. It's the best advice I can give you. You see I'm just coming in and doing the outlines of those lenses. So you can see how that dot helps. Now I know where Gwen's eyes are underneath there. And I don't need to go all the way up to the point because most of that's covered by the hood. Okay, so now we're going to go up to the chin. Here's the back of her head, and that comes down just like that. And this side of the neck comes down over here. All right, so we're looking pretty good so far. So now we're going to come in, we're going to draw this hood line across her face. And we're going to do the other side. Swoops way out because we want to show the inside of that hood. So fun. And Gwen Stacy is an iconic character in the Marvel Universe. Been around a long time. One of Peter's greatest failures was the death of the original Gwen Stacy. And so when she was able to come back in a completely new way, it rocked the Marvel Universe. Such a cool character, such a cool costume. One of my favorite new characters in the Marvel Universe. All right, so now we're gonna go in and draw these web lines. Again, these will be colored differently when I do this all in color. But for the purposes of the drawing, we'll go ahead and pencil them in. Now we'll do all those curved lines. Just tracing over what you had already drawn. And if I'm ever going too fast, feel free to pause the video, get caught up, and then get back after it. And if you don't feel like yours looks exactly right the first time, that's okay. Just keep practicing. Okay, now I'm gonna put aside my B pencil and I'm gonna take out my 6B and I'm gonna do a nice outline around the outside of my drawing to really help it pop. And for those of you who are trivia buffs, what Earth did this Gwen Stacy come from? Give you a second to answer. She came from Earth 65. That's right. If you answered correctly, you are a true Marvel fan. Now I like to make a little bit of shadow, add a little bit of depth here. So I'm gonna make a shadow underneath her chin. So just come down and kind of echo the shape that I already made with her chin and color that in. Just adds a little bit of depth, helps it pop off just a bit. And then I'll add some here behind her head as well. Puts a little bit of shadow behind her hood, or behind her head, I should say. Maybe do a little bit up here as well. and then outline her head here, closing in on this drawing. And there you have it. There is Ghost Spider. So hope you guys had fun drawing along with me. Again, keep practicing. If you ever didn't get caught up, you can go ahead and stop the video and keep playing it over and over, or get caught up wherever you need to be. And of course, before you end everything, you got to sign it. That's what makes it yours. So I'm going to put my name down at the bottom. It's Brian Crosby. So again, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys are having fun doing these drawings. I know I'm having fun doing them with you. And as always, this is Marvel, your universe.